Hey, it's Amy. I wanted to do a quick video. Hopefully this will be quick, but I've made a list of stuff I wanted to go over because I tend to ramble sometimes, so I'm trying to do it a little bit more organized. Okay, I had the vertical sleeve gastrectomy December 19th, 2014 with Dr. Bruce Shermer at UVA, University of Virginia in Charlottesville. My highest recorded weight at a doctor's office was my primary care physician at 322.4 pounds. Surgery day weight that morning was 314.8, and then I am currently at 243.2. Gives me a 79.2 pound loss in 8.5 months, almost 9 months, and it's slowing down immensely, but that's okay because I'm still going down and I don't mind getting a little slower. I've had some issues. We'll get into that later. Okay, so those of you that just want the numbers and are out, I'll see you guys later. Love you very much anyway. And for those of you that want to stick around, here's the topic at hand for today. Okay, weight loss surgery is the easy way out. Said no weight loss surgery patient ever, or anybody that knows anything really about it. Let's talk about why weight loss surgery is not the easy way out. Let's talk about pre-op testing. Okay, now disclaimer from the very beginning, this list of things that I'm going to give you, you may have these experiences, you may not have these experiences, you may know somebody that did. These are a generalized list of experiences, in no way, any shape or form a guarantee that you will have them. Are your risks higher because you're having weight loss surgery? Yeah. But will you? Cannot say for sure 100%. Nobody can. So if they tell you for sure that this is going to happen to you, they can't. They can say, most likely, but they can't say for sure. Okay. Endoscopy. EGD. Do you know what that is? You go into a doctor's office, they put you to sleep, basically. They sedate you. Ours is done under conscious sedation, which is technically not general anesthesia, but I was out of it. Thank goodness, because I don't want to be awake. For them taking a tube with a light on it and shoving it down my throat. That's what an EGD is. They take a tube, it has a light on the end of it, they stick it in your mouth, down your throat, look at your esophagus, look at your stomach, and sometimes go past that. I would say probably always go past that to see what's just past your stomach into your small intestines. It's not usually very far, just like the entrance of your small intestines, but yeah, they do. Yeah, that's fun. Not so much. Sleep study. You go to a clinic or a hospital. I had mine at UVA. Technically it was part of the hospital, but it was its own sleep clinic. You go in, you spend the night, they stick these things in your nose, this thing at your mouth. It comes down so that it knows when you're breathing and not breathing. You get a thing on your finger to test your oxygen. You have probes all over your head. You come out the next morning looking similar to the Bride of Frankenstein because your hair is out like this because they've had to get up under your, it's just, fun, not. And then if you in the middle of the night, your sleep study goes really horrible, they wake you up, like you've actually been to sleep, they wake you up and put a machine on your face that pushes constant air, makes you feel like you're suffocating, all in the name of making you breathe better. And if you're not woken up in the middle of the night, but you do have sleep apnea, then you have to come back while they adjust the pressure all night on this thing up your nose, or a whole face mask, which again makes you feel like you're suffocating. Not saying that eventually you don't get used to it and can't sleep without it, because I hear that's what happens. I did not get to that point. I felt like I was suffocating every night when I put that thing on. And if you do the one with up your nose and you try to open your mouth, all that pressure, I did not like it. We didn't get along. Then you have to go to a psych evaluation, which can or cannot be a pleasurable experience. I was lucky enough to get a psychiatrist that several of the people in the office had weight loss surgery, so he was not opposed to it. My visit was kind of short. You had to fill out a questionnaire and talk to him for a while, and I've heard of people having hundreds of questions on a computer, and their tests last like 4 hours. Not necessarily 4 hours, but 4 hours, FOR, 4 hours, hundreds of questions. There are some psychiatrists that do not believe in weight loss surgery, and they will test you and test you and test you. They can't really fail you if there's nothing to fail on, but they're not for you doing it, so it makes it more difficult to get through. These 2 tests I did not have to do because of my history. The more overweight you are and the worse you are health-wise, the more tests you end up having to do. I did not have to do cardiac testing. I did not have to do stress test. I did not have to do pulmonary testing, but there are people that do. My insurance company made me, sorry, I keep looking at my notes, but I didn't want to forget something. My insurance company made me go to my doctor's office 6 times and see my surgeon 3 times. The other 3 could be done with my primary care, and 3 of them I had to go 6 times. I had to see the nutritionist and the surgeon. That's okay. Some people have to do a year, some people 3 months, some people don't have to do any. So, I mean, that's completely up to your insurance company. Some insurance companies say, no, we're not going to cover it no matter what. So they don't require you to do anything because you have to pay out of your pocket, which could be like $17,000. Or you go to Mexico. There are some excellent surgeons in Mexico, so don't be afraid to do that, but research it. Make sure you find a good one, because I'm sure, like everywhere else, there are bad ones there too. There's bad ones everywhere, so just research it. Research any of your surgeons, whether it's here or you go out of country. Research, definitely. It's definitely cheaper to go to Mexico to do it, but then you don't have the follow-up like you do here. So you definitely have to have somebody here that's going to follow you and make sure you're healthy afterwards. Then you go to your surgeon's office. Okay, now I'm going to talk about my experience because I can't talk about other people's because I don't know what theirs are. I spent all day. I had to be there at 8 and I didn't leave till after 2. I saw my surgeon. I saw the insurance guy, the big meeting of a bunch of people. We all found out what our insurance required. Then you see the surgeon, you see the nutritionist. We went downstairs and got blood work drawn. We had to have a chest x-ray, which I didn't get to do that day, but it's just a long, long day. But you got most of it done in one day, so it was okay. Okay, now let's get to your surgery. You've gone through all this testing, you cleared, your insurance says it's a go. Let's do this, right? So, depending on what your surgeon requires, you can have anywhere from a 1-day completely full liquid and drink that magnesium citrate. It's like drinking grape-flavored seawater. It's disgusting. Do not plan on going anywhere if you have to drink that, because you're not going to be going anywhere but to the bathroom. And I mean over and over and over. And still going the next morning while they're hooking me up to IVs. I'm like, can I take this IV pole with me to the bathroom? Because I got to go again. Yeah, but they're working on your stomach. They're working on your intestines. You have to be cleared out. If you're not lucky enough or unlucky enough, depending on your preference, of having to drink this nasty stuff the day before surgery, you go on a 2-week liquid diet. Okay, 2 weeks of either full liquids or clear liquids. There's a difference, but not a lot. It means no steak, no McDonald's, no foods that you've been used to. By now, hopefully, you've given up soda, because that's not going to be something you're going to be able to have afterwards. If you smoke, you have to have given that up for at least a period of time. There are surgeons. Now I don't know if mine is one of them because I don't smoke, so I didn't ask. But there are surgeons that will test you. And I mean like test your hair or blood or however they test. I don't know how they do that exactly, but they will test you. And if you test positive for cigarettes, for nicotine, they won't do the surgery. It does have an effect on the way you heal. It has an effect on your new stomach. I won't get into that. This isn't an anti-smoking video, but it does affect you after surgery. So I know there are people that go back to it, but it's not good for many reasons. Okay, so you're at surgery day. You go into the hospital. Sometimes you have to sit and wait for hours, and you're starving because, look, I mean, you haven't eaten anything. You haven't eaten real food for 2 weeks. You just, please put me to sleep so I'm not hungry anymore. So you have a major surgery, life-changing, risky procedure that people do die during. It's risky. It's not, I'm not going to the park and, I mean, it's risky. Is it worth it? To me it was, but it is a risk. People do die in surgery from this or after surgery. It's very important for you to get up and walk after surgery as much as you can. Don't push yourself to the point where you're, you have to move because you can get a blood clot really easily after surgery. That's a big risk. And they're not good. So you've spent thousands of dollars on this surgery possibly, or you've gone out of the country. You've already been through a lot, right? So immediately after surgery, most people, you're going to be nauseous. You're going to dry heave or vomit. Now imagine you've just had surgery on your stomach, so coughing or laughing is going to hurt. Vomiting is going to be excruciating. I did have nausea and I did dry heave. I didn't vomit, but I didn't have anything in my stomach to vomit out, but it was bad and it hurt a lot. You're going to have a lot of pain. Some more than others, but I had 11 incisions. I had pain. Not to the pain part I couldn't stand it, but I had pain. Alright, now let's get into I've got just like this big like bubble of things. First, let's go with what you can see. Hair loss. It's a thing. Happens. Very rarely do I hear anybody say that it didn't happen. It happens in different degrees and in different times and for different lengths of time to different people. I don't think anybody knows why. People that get in all their protein still lose their hair. So that may help you to not lose it. People that take biotin before surgery and continue to take it after surgery still lose their hair. Some people don't do either of those. Don't always get in all their protein and don't take biotin ever, and they don't lose any hair that you can notice. But it happens to a lot of people, the majority of the people that I know anyway. With the sleeve, you can have acid reflux more than you had it before because of the pressure, I think. I don't know if they really understand that reason either. You can have low B12. You have to take your multivitamins every day. You have to take iron sometimes multiple times a day. You have to take calcium. You cannot eat or drink at the same time. You cannot do those two at the same time. You have to stop drinking a half an hour before you eat. And if you're lucky enough, you can start drinking again a half an hour after you eat. I cannot some days do that. I have to wait longer. When you are full, sometimes it is painful to be full. And it doesn't just happen. You don't say, oh, I'm full. It's, oh, I'm okay. And you take another bite and then you're full. And by then it's too late. Or if you're too full and you don't have the pain, guess what you have? The vomiting. Some people vomit 3 or 4 times a week, every week. And it's not because they're overeating, it's just they eat and their stomach says, get that out, and pukes it back up, okay? If you don't have the vomiting, then you're going to probably have the dumping at some point. And anybody that tells you that they don't have dumping from the vertical sleeve gastrectomy, some people do not have it. But don't listen to anybody that tells you that you can't have it with the VSG. because they're full of crap. I have it. I have the VSG. I get dumping. Not very often because I pay attention. When my body says, get that out, and I get dumping from it, I'm not likely to have it again. I had a spell the other day that was really, really bad. I had pains in my stomach and cramps so bad that I was bent over. It was so painful. It was like childbirth times 10 for me. It was horrible. All of a sudden, my hair got soaking wet because I was sweating profusely, like sweat dripping off my face. It's like I was having a heart attack. It was dumping. Constipation. It's a real thing after surgery like this. For the first 5 months, no problems. I had my gallbladder taken out. Another thing, gallbladder. I had my gallbladder taken out, so I kind of had diarrhea for the first 6 weeks because my stomach was just like, whoa. My intestines were like, wait, where's your gallbladder? What's it? It was just, anyway, yeah. The nausea and vomiting. Today has been one of those days. Everything that I have had, I'm almost 9 months out. Every single thing that I've eaten today has made me sick. I haven't been hungry all day. Every time I try to force myself to eat something because I can't go out without eating anything at all, my stomach gurgles and then I start dry heaving, and I want to dry heave right now. It's just been one of those days. I think I ate something yesterday that didn't agree with me, which takes me into another thing. I carry my food with me everywhere I go. Except sometimes you go to some place, like we went last night, we took my son to wrestling and they wouldn't let us bring food in. I'm there. I'm hungry. I eat little tiny meals 3 times every 3 to 4 hours. Little meals. I'm there. I haven't eaten in 4 hours. I'm starting to get hungry. They don't have healthy choices. They won't let me bring food in. So, what do? You eat something. Your stomach doesn't agree with you. The next day, everything makes you sick. This carrying your food everywhere can turn into an eating disorder. You've gone from binging or whatever eating disorder you may have had, your addiction, before surgery, to now people can turn anorexic. Your body can make you almost seem like you're bulimic because you're vomiting 3 or 4 times a week. Not by choice, but your body says, You could eat something today and be fine. I've had something for the last 6 months and be fine with it, and then tomorrow I eat it and it makes me sick as a dog. You're having a bad sleep day, a bad tummy pouch day. Happens. Your addiction that you had before can turn into another addiction. Alcohol, or Facebook, or YouTube, or shopping, or just gambling. I mean, any other addiction. They can turn into another. I mean, even exercise can become an addiction. While you think, well, that's a healthy one, right? Well, usually, but with any addiction, you take it too far, and that can not be healthy. Okay, I told you that you can't eat when you drink. Eat and drink at the same time. The dumping. Now, once you've lost your weight, you're going to have loose skin. It's inevitable. There's very few people that don't have any. I have it. I mean, I'm getting it like right here. I mean, like look at this. This is just, it's just awful. My stomach. I told my fiance that I'm glad he likes dogs because I'm starting to resemble a Shar-Pei. So, I'll get to that in just a second. Weakness. Today I've been kind of weak because I haven't eaten. And every time I do eat, who wants to eat when everything you put in your mouth makes you dry heave and go run to the toilet because you think you're going to vomit and your entire insides out? I mean, duh. I don't want to eat. I'm tracking all of my food now more than I ever tracked food before surgery, because I have to make sure that I get in what I need, because I don't want to get sick, because you're basically putting yourself into a starvation mode for a little while. And days like today, my body thinks it's starving because I haven't fed it. But I can't, because every time I eat, I get sick. I think I talked to you about the B12, the multivitamins, iron multiple times a day, calcium. Different surgeries require different vitamins and different quantities of vitamins. Vitamin D, B12, multi, iron, calcium, those are the big ones. But each surgery, the DS is probably the worst for it. If you don't take your vitamins because you're not absorbing what you eat, if you don't take your vitamins, you could die. I mean, years out, you can die because you have to have the nutrients. Your body needs it, and if you can't get it in with food, you have to get it somehow. And I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to make you realize that you have to do this thing. Your iron can get really, really low, even with a sleeve. That's why I didn't choose the Roux-en-Y, the gastric bypass, because of the iron deficiency with that. Studies are showing now that it's possible that you're getting the same iron deficiencies with the VSG as you can get with the RNY, because of there's a certain spot of your body that absorbs the B12 and absorbs your iron and things like that, and if you certain ways you eat or certain things go through your stomach faster, go through your intestines faster, don't stick around long enough to get absorbed. There's all kinds of things. I'm not going to go into all that. My dog. But your iron can get low enough to actually require blood transfusions. Yeah, blood transfusions from a surgery to make you healthy. Now, again, I'm not trying to scare you. Sorry, letting my dog out. Or he will just whine and cry until I do. And they have to go out and act like they're crazy when they first get out the door. So, okay, sorry about that. Let's get this finished. Sometimes if I stand up too fast, I notice that I can kind of get black around my eyes, like I'm going to pass out. So that's usually a blood volume thing, like if I'm getting dehydrated, which is easy to do. Again, if you're doing that vomiting, dehydration comes along with that. Figure if you're taking in a little bit of fluid and a little bit of food, and every time you do, you're vomiting it back out, you're really not taking in that much. You're not absorbing that much. So that can cause dehydration and can cause other issues. That's how I know that I'm not getting in enough, is if I get up too fast and I kind of feel dizzy. You can have complications. You can have to have a feeding tube. Some people lose too much weight with the surgery and can't regulate their weight, and they have to have a feeding tube put in. Usually that's temporary until your body kind of mellows out and evens out a little, and then you can get rid of it, but that does happen. You forget you are one. Sometimes I forget that I'm a weight loss surgery patient. I forget my vitamin. I take Centrum every day, and I was never a big pill person. I don't like pills. I don't like to take vitamins, but I knew that came along with the surgery, so I take my vitamin. Now if I take it on an empty stomach, it makes my stomach hurt, so I try to take it with food, but I can't drink after I've eaten. So I either have to take like a bite of food and take my vitamin real quick and then eat, or I have to take it and then eat, and sometimes that causes dumping. But I can't eat all of my food and then take it, because if I drink then, it definitely is going to cause some dumping, or is going to hurt, like chest pain hurt. Yeah, so those are the things that I wrote down. I'm sure there's more. And I don't mean to scare you, because I dry heave a lot, but I don't vomit a lot. I've had dumping several times, but I'm telling you, once you've had a really bad one like I did like 2 weeks ago, and that you're not going to do what that did again. And if you do, well, you know what's coming. So, but you can have dumping on something that you've eaten 100 times, and then all of a sudden today your stomach doesn't like it. So it's a finicky little thing. So I don't know how long this video is. Hopefully it's not too long. Hopefully I haven't bored you. But honestly, for those people that say weight loss surgery is the easy way out, does any of this sound easy? Because it's not. Does it sound fun? Seeing the scale go down is the only thing that's fun, and that doesn't happen every day. The nausea doesn't happen every day either, so the vomiting doesn't happen every day. Dumping doesn't happen every day. Days like today where I don't feel so good don't happen every day. So it comes down to, is your health worth it? Are you worth it? And yeah, I said yes to those things. So bring it on. Whatever. If I have to do a blood transfusion one day because my iron's low, then I guess I'm going to have to do that. But you know what? I'll fit in that chair a lot better because I'm down almost 80 pounds. And for the most part, my health is a lot better. A lot better. Just going to that wrestling thing last night, I could get up the steps. I walked up and down the steps 4 times while I was there and didn't get out of breath, and I could do it and wasn't like like, you know, having a heart attack when I got to the top of the stairs. My fiance said last night, he's like, look at you. He said, you're keeping up with me. I mean, he's skinny. He's like, you're keeping up with me. He said, you couldn't do that before. And so yeah, it's been worth it. But is it easy? No. So yeah, that's just my little take on, is weight loss surgery the easy way out? And anybody that tells you that doesn't really understand. And if you want to take the time to educate them, then do it. If not, okay, don't. Because some people aren't going to learn no matter how much you explain it to them. So I'm going to go. I don't know how long this is. I apologize for taking a long time, but I really wanted to get all that out. And I love you guys. See you soon. 0.8 more to go to 80 pounds. I'm so excited. And then my goal is to lose, to be at 100 lost by Thanksgiving. That's the new goal. So we'll see. Starting Pound to Cure tomorrow. I'll start doing videos about that soon. Love you guys. Bye.